Okay, so we're here with the winner of the Winter Pride Art Awards. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell us a little bit about your piece and why you think you won this evening?
I can tell you about my piece. It's called Grindr Quilt, and it's a portrait of Grindr, the gay networking app. And originally I made it as part of a triptych of three portraits of aspects of homosexuality in 2017. So it's the 50th anniversary of the partial decriminalisation of same-sex acts between men. It sat alongside a portrait of Liverpool Street Station called London Cottage, which kind of looked at the sort of wordless language of cottaging, the act of men seeking sex in public toilets with each other. And the third portrait was of men that had received a pardon from the government for crimes relating to their homosexuality rather than an apology. And the three portraits sort of wove a story together, and actually individually they have a narrative too. Grindr Quilt was really there to kind of recognise there are some inherited qualities from cottaging that was sort of came around from a time when gay men had to meet covertly for sex, and that sort of action is in some way relevant in Grindr today. And the quilt as a format is an inherited object, so it's something acknowledging that inherited aspect. It's also a thing that is domestic and speaks of two people and speaks of comfort and speaks of value, and I think they're all those things that should be associated with Grindr that aren't always necessarily. Like it is quite a domestic thing. On one side of the quilt is portraits of Grindr users in the Kensington area, which is where the work was originally shown, and all of the portraits are only heads, there's no bodies, and that was very deliberate to kind of reaffirm the sort of person-to-person contact that you get with use of language, that text that Grindr requires.
And obviously this is an exceptionally modern, forward-thinking piece, but actually all of them are in there, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Why do you think that yours stood out particularly to the judges?
It's a good question. There's a lot of work in there which I have yet to have a really good look at. I think that the piece that I've submitted has a lot of levels, and there's a lot of different layers of narrative that go into it, and it actually requires quite a leap of faith and quite a lot of commitment from the viewer to try and untangle some of those stories. So it doesn't just give everything in one go. It's a piece that you can return to, and hopefully there's still something interesting within it. There's also the theme of the exhibition was breaking the binaries, I think, or beyond the binaries.
Yes, I can confirm.
And I think it's interesting. Quite often, how we think of binary, and something that I find that Grindr quite often gets a bad rapport for. It's often, associated...
Very true.
Yeah, it's also only associated with quick relationships or with often blamed for the closure of queer spaces. And I was trying to look at it as a thing that is maybe it's a new queer space, it's online, and actually there are a lot of meaningful relationships that can come from it. I'm in one.
So this is actually as a positive platform.
Yeah, it's a very positive portrait of Grindr. It's aware of some negative connotations, but it's not. It's having lots of aspects of portraying the app in this portrait. So it's not saying it's one thing or the other. It's allowing for a lot of sort of delicate understandings of it, which I guess breaking binaries is all about. Rather, it's not one thing or the other.
Okay, and last question, just a fun one. So obviously you got £1,000 this evening. Everyone loves to receive money. Free money is free money. What do you intend to do with it?
I mean, having been shortlisted, it crossed my mind. I don't know. I really hope I won't just live, but that's probably what I will do.
At least get yourself a little treat.
I'll get
a little bar of chocolate.
I will definitely get some kind of treat. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.